Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game SoC versus FoCuS. This game taking place here on Runes of Ashara, version 2.1. Let's go ahead and speed things up. FoCuS spawning as the red orc player on the bottom left-hand side of the map here, opening up with an Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, and Barracks. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have SoC spawning as the orange human, opening things up with an Altar of Kings, farm barracks, and going for that Archmage first. Game already getting underway, or getting close to that 2-minute mark. Hero on the south side will be a Farseer with a lumber mill right behind it. So we are going to be getting that first Orc Burrow, and then, well, first grunt, excuse me, and then now moving out, perhaps FoCuS doing a little bit of creeping as the Archmage already creeping out here, grabbing up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Ogre Mauler, Ogre Magi, you can see Forest Troll Trapper off to the side as well, doing a little bit of throwing that, well, axe through the trees here. Gonna go ahead and pick up Vampiric Aura for the Archmage, which will definitely help out all of these units here. One poor militia trying to get away will not get lucky as the Farseer gets on the board with some experience. Now, Archmage is sitting at level 2. We're going to see some more, well, picking off here. Farseer already halfway to level 2 as well, picking off another Peasant there. So both sides actually exchanging quite a bit of blows as the Peasant may end up getting taken down again. We are going to be up to 142 experience on the Farseer, pretty much picking off peasants or some grunt kills, water elemental kills, and maybe stealing a bit of experience from, well, SoC's major creep camp. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side of the map, SoC does have one footman inside the base here. Doesn't have defend though, so taking quite a bit of damage from, excuse me, from that Orc Burrow, and, well, gets pinned in the back. Archmage coming back around, looking to put in pressure. The Forest Troll Trapper is getting an ensnare on a footman here. There goes one low, easy, low hit point units. Units trying to retreat back. Farseer forced to fall back down to 200 hit points with no easy way to heal. During the early portions of the game, both players are just trying to get a rhythm going and trying to figure out what the other players' strategies are going to be. Professional players are really just trying not to make a mistake. Don't give windows of opportunity for damage. FoCuS is looking at that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Even though he does have 126 hit points, he knows that that Farseer could easily put in a lot of damage. FoCuS accidentally double backing around in the direction of the Archmage, lost control right there temporarily, and it looks like the Farseer is gonna, well, hide off to the side as the Archmage just quickly, well, tries to do a bit more creeping again, summoning up a Water Elemental, Centaur Sorcerer, dual Forest Troll Shadow Priest, in addition to Militia, now joining in on the fight as SoC brings over a Footman to make sure he doesn't get, well, creep jacked in the back. Farseer sitting at level 2 now does need some healing salves. You can see some, well, some trolls, some grunts, both of them taking some serious damage. Nothing a healing salve wouldn't cure, as that is what's going on now. All right, low hit point, grunt in that front line spot. Forest Troll Berserker trying to back away. 28 to 37 damage compared to 23 to 27 damage here, as we're looking at more poking going across. Ogre Mauler going to get finished off here. Archmage has cleared out the 3 o'clock spot, gotten to level 3, and now setting up an expo. This Vampiric Aura, well, allowing for the Footman to regenerate hit points as they fight, thereby making the Forest Troll Shadow Priest not have to work nearly as hard. Footman looking to get away. Farseer of FoCuS also at level 3, but no expo as of yet. All right, we are still at tier 1 by SoC. Tier 2 already done with the Tauren Chieftain. I'm getting trained up. A Bestiary well on its way to being done. A Spirit Lodge just as well, as the two armies are going to try and engage here. There's a Chain Lightning finishing off a Forest Troll Shadow Priest. Another Forest Troll Shadow Priest could get finished off as well. Just constant attacks, faster movement speed, and you can see that that Farseer with a Scroll of Speed able to finish off that unit there. All right, just trying to get another shot off. Now going after this Forest Troll Berserker. Arcane Tower is nearly done as the Forest Troll Berserker Berserker going to actually, well, hide behind that Arcane Tower? No, knows that one tower is not going to be enough to save its life. The Wolves are still chasing after this Force Troll Berserker, who is down to 125 hit points. That Force Troll Berserker represents a large amount of damage for the human army, as we're looking now at Sock putting pressure inside the base itself. Tauren Chieftain kind of stuck behind all of his own units, as we see a big deny there on one of those Troll Berserkers. More damage getting racked up here. Archmage trying to put in pressure, but with all of those units, while holding the door, I don't believe the Water Elemental or Archmage is going to be able to make its way through. Tauren Chieftain has Endurance Aura. There's another Water Elemental getting summoned up. Shamans are going to try to come over and get a Purge. Perhaps, yeah, there's a Purge onto one Water Elemental. Another Water Elemental going to get taken down. Tauren Chieftain now on the board, and FoCuS is just gaining a large amount of experience, while Sock, what is this? He's going to use a Potion of Invulnerability, go after these units and say, screw it, I want to take down these units here, finish them off. You can see 15 seconds of invulnerability, but big damage is being done. Tauren Chieftain trying to finish things off there. There goes a Grunt there, and using the Scroll of Town Portal to get out. 15-second invul potion coupled with a Scroll of Town Portal to get away, but able to finish off a Forest Troll Berserker, a Headhunter, and also a Grunt may have been a positive trade there. However, Tauren Chieftain did get a fair amount of experience as well, taking down those two Water Elementals. Well, Water Elementals are just mana anyways, so in terms of resources, we'll see whether or not that extra experience for the Tauren Chieftain matters, or all of that exchange there and that experience for Sock. All right, Blacksmith getting completed. Arcane Vault done. Clarity Potion, Healing Salve. Not Healing Salve, Scroll of Healing. Or Scroll of Regeneration, excuse me. Losing all of my... Did I not get enough rest today? That's what it almost feels like. Now, what is the plan? Tech to Tier 2 is done. We are looking at a Mountain King as the second hero. There's an Arcane Sanctum, dual Arcane Sanctums, but not yet training up any Riflemen. Normally there's a transition into Rifle Casters, as the Blacksmith still waiting to be completed. Meanwhile, the Farseer is going to be at level 3. Tauren Chieftain's currently sitting at level 2. The Farseer may get to level 4 here. No, Tauren Chieftain now going to try and get to level 3 with the help of the army, as we can see some quick item pickups there. Claws of Attack +5. You can take a look. Dire Wolves still trying to do a little bit of damage against those units. It looks like the Tauren Chieftain just wanted to pick up some items. Also picked up the Sentry Ward, and now buying a quick Clarity Potion as well. Back off to the north, Mountain King doing some solo creeping. Gonna pick up a Ring of Protection +4, as the Expo is, trying to add in some farms for some additional protection. Minimizing the surface area on that Town Hall, a key deal, as a third Arcane Sanctum getting added in there. Just a reason for Sock to try and cancel it. Force Troll Shadow Priest with the Abolish Magics. Arcane Sanctum's going to get cleaned up here. Mountain King does have a Stormbolt, but where is the Archmage for that support? Mountain King could be in a little bit of trouble. Force Troll Shadow Priest across here. Footman trying to engage, and it looks as though the Mountain King is going to be able to finish things off there. Shockwave, Chain Lightning finishing off that Mountain King there, sitting at level 1. Archmage in the back position. Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 3, as the Arcane Tower now feeding back the damage on that Tauren Chieftain. Spellbreaker's in position here as well. That medium armor will be helpful against the Raider damage and also the Headhunter damage, but will he be able to get enough Spellbreakers out in time? That is the question. A lot of gold, but not spending any of it so far. Sock is just, suffering a beating here, as we see a couple of ensnares go down onto a Rifleman, unable to train up enough units to really fight back this onslaught. However, there is home field advantage, as the Mountain King should be able to, get a little bit of additional mana, perhaps go in with the Stormbolt and try and do a counter push here. It looks as though this Arcane Sanctum is going to end up falling, as the peasants get ensnared, unable to repair any longer. There's a Priest. The Priest pops its head out, only to quickly get cleaned up, as the Arcane Tower should perhaps try and target some other units. All right, Army right here just putting pressure on the front door, not dealing too much critical damage, but still at the same time dealing damage and putting pressure there. However, FoCuS has not fully saturated his gold mine net, just now getting that. And even if you are doing large amounts of damage to your opponent, if your opponent's economy is strong enough to make up for it, well, you need to get out of that spot, and that's exactly what Sock did. He knew that until his own expo is well established and fortified, he couldn't just sit in front of his opponent's base hoping that he's dealing enough damage to somehow take a lead. FoCuS sitting on 50 over 62 supply, Sock sitting on 46 over 68, and at any moment could break into mid-low upkeep, as he does have a barracks and 3 production buildings ready to start training up those units. It feels like in about 30 seconds probably about a minute to a minute and a half, we're going to see Sock really start to crank out these units. And now once more, FoCuS is trying to put in a pressure before Sock's economic advantage will be able to take hold. 50 over 68, more repairs, and the Raiders are also coming in across with that pillage. So large amounts of gold coming in addition to this extra gold mine here, I believe. Yeah, pillage is researched, as the blacksmith about to get taken down. There goes a quick ensnare, and these raiders with these hit and run tactics just being absolutely annoying. Scroll of Town Portal now coming across. Where are they going to land? Archmage fighting in the back right there, and I believe, yeah, that was a Tome of Retraining into Blizzard. Archmage gets up to level 5, and is the Blizzard Thunderclap strategy gonna be enough to try and fight back this army? Archmage sitting at 5, Farseer sitting at 4, Tauren Chieftain sitting at 3, and the Mountain King sitting at 2. Shockwave, level 2 Shockwave on that Tauren Chieftain should be able to hit that back line, but there are so many Spellbreakers here that that front line may be able to absorb it all, or perhaps even feed back the majority of the Tauren Chieftain's damage. Meanwhile, Archmage is looking to put in pressure on the Expo, shut it down before it can really do anything. And now here you have it, Archmage now trying to make its position over here. 1 peasant down, or peon down, 2 peons already down, 3 peons down, as the Archmage may try and shift things up. Archmage, is he going to try and put in some Blizzard anywhere? That is the question. Stormbolt going down. There is Blizzard. No ensnare. There's the ensnare finally on the Archmage, but damage has already been done. Both sides still fighting their way through. Spellbreaker is going to get taken down. Archmage still fighting their way again, as the Archmage uses another potion of invulnerability and just exchanging blows, taking out his own Forest Troll Shadow Priest right there in the hopes to perhaps take down a Grunt. There's a little bit of extra damage. Grunt down to dead, as the Mountain King gets in one final shot. FoCuS, however, still running off of 2 bases, a little bit of regeneration, 52 supply compared to 59, but the army size is really the story here, 45 compared to 33, FoCuS nearly with a 50% difference in army size, as there are also, Spellbreakers in the bellies of those Kodos, further, taking up supply for Sock. 1100 gold. Sock has really not been able to use his economic advantage in the early stages, and now FoCuS is in the driver's seat of this game. What is the Archmage and Mountain King really hoping to do? There's a little creep jack scenario, and that is the benefit of a Spellbreaker inside the Kodo Beast. Your position is constantly revealed. All right, Tauren Chieftain going straight after a priest there. Mountain King gets level 2 clap. Major AoE damage off that level 2 clap. They're now trying to finish things off more, as the Archmage is trying to stay alive. Archmage really needs a Paladin to get in some more burst heals, as the Mountain King may want to try and transfer that potion of invulnerability to the Archmage, just in case things get dicey. 31 supply army compared to 41. Sock able to close out some of that distance. But remember, there are still 2 Spellbreakers getting slowly digested in the bellies of those Kodos. Alright, damage getting racked up. Granite Golem gonna easily get finished off here, giving level 5 to the Farseer. Definite hero level advantage now for FoCuS, who has level 3 Chain Lightning. So it is going to be Chain Wave, Chain Lightning, and Shockwave working together to, try and blast down that back line. one of the benefits of Chain Wave against a Spellbreaker casters is that, well, the Chain Lightning doesn't actually hit the Spellbreakers and will only bounce around on those lower hit point units, those priests that are in the back line trying to keep the army together. We are now going into, well, flying machines, so in order to gain sight over any Shadow Wolves, as the FoCuS did get to level 5 on the Farseer. However, the Farseer did correctly choose to go for Chain Lightning instead. Also, that Farseer with plus 17 damage, that Claws of Attack plus 12, a very significant source of damage here as the Farseer now on the move. All right, Archmage ready to clear out this creep camp here. There's that Blizzard raining 50 damage per second across that entire back line. Force Troll Warlord going to get cleaned up here in just a moment as the Archmage, one Blizzard is enough. Tome of Intelligence picked up. Mountain King picking up, well, another ring here as we see some major Blizzard coming down. There's Chain Lightning, both sides, Shockwave ripping on through, and that is what I was talking about right there. The Shockwave and the Chain Lightning, the Spellbreakers cannot take that bounce on that Chain Lightning, so all of the lower hit point units, those Sorceresses and Priests, were the only target, and that's why that 1-2 combination worked out well. Spellbreakers now making their way over here, trying to put in pressure. Are we going to see a Thunderclap? We are, and that's going to cause major slowing as all of the Peasants now getting taken out. Chain Wave doing an amazing amount of damage against the Militia, but then again, all of the AoE damage from the Archmage and the Mountain King also racking up quite high too. All right, we still have an Arcane Vault, still sitting on a large amount of gold as a FoCuS does take the supply lead, and now the Mountain King with another Stormbolt able to rack up again more damage. Mountain King needs to try to hide in the back. Are we going to see the Farseer try and put in pressure? That is a dangerous spot to be in, as there are also a lot of low hit point grunts and raiders who want to retreat back and get a little bit of health going. Priest now coming over from the main base. Some healing is going to be available. I believe the Archmage picks up, yes, and some Ivory Towers to try and reset up this base here. Perhaps get up an Arcane Tower. No Masonry upgrades, as that Guard Tower, well, a little bit on fire. We don't see a tech to tier 3, so no sign of a Paladin or Staff of Sanctuary. Both would be able to keep the heroes in play a little bit longer or protect them. Meanwhile, what is the Archmage's long-term plan here? Perhaps going to try and make its way over here to the bottom left. Now, FoCuS did set up his expo a little bit later, meaning that he has about 5,000 more gold in the gold mine than Sock. FoCuS can sit back a little bit as it is Sock's turn, or Sock's opportunity to try and figure out how exactly to put on pressure onto his opponent. Raiders, once again, charging on in here, going to get in some easy damage on this Altar of Kings, as now Sock finally breaking into low upkeep. There is a Thunderclap there, slowing things down. Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain going to lose a lot of its mana. There is a Blizzard right there, and this is just great positioning by Sock. The Raiders unable to get very far away. Chain Lightning going to bounce around, but unable to bounce onto anything except those units, and because they weren't tightly grouped together, only had 2 bounces there. Archmage may try and get off another Blizzard here. Are we going to see some more units trying to retreat back? There's that Spellbreaker able to stand in that frontline spot. There goes one Raider. More grunts also getting slowed up a bit here as another Raider gets taken down. Archmage is hiding in the very far back here. Mountain King trying to hold that front door as we are looking at a level 6 Farseer with now Shadow Wolves. Diving on in. There goes another Thunderclap. There goes a Grunt. There goes some more units. And Sock's Mountain King able to hold the door while the Archmage stands in the back, just blasting down Blizzards. All right, things are quickly changing in a new direction now. Kotobe's trying to chomp onto a Spellbreaker. All of these Kotobe's have nothing in the belly currently, as the units are going to try and engage here. All right, there goes some Shadow Wolves. There's some more Blizzard as the units are going to try and push off here. Sorcerer's going to turn back around. Archmage going to purposely retreat back here. No Arcane Sight here, or Arcane Sentry on the tower, so unable to spot, but the flying machines do give sight there. All right, small window of opportunity. Priests need to get trained up, need to heal up all of these units. This Expo cannot get taken down, otherwise Sock will lose. A big fight going on here as the Archmage going to be in a little bit of trouble. There's a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around along the backside there. Archmage does get to level 6, does have Mass Teleport, and is now, well, in hopes of being able to reposition itself consistently and get in damage. Are we going to look at a big fight here? Archmage actually getting caught in a tough spot there. Mountain King, are these units... it looks as though they are stuck. The Priest perhaps... Nope, Mountain King and Archmage... Potion of Mana trying to break free. Nope, unable to get out of this spot here. And this is going to open things up for Sock to take down the workshop here and put pressure in on the other side. Is the Archmage perhaps going to use a Mass Teleport? Yes, Mass Teleport once more, making its way over, but the building is gone. 1,000 gold constantly. Archmage once more with more Blizzard trying to rain down. Thunderclap slowing things down as well. That Mountain King, remember, does have multiple rings of protection, so very difficult to finish off with just auto attack damage, especially as he is getting healed. Add on top of that, well, Mountain King now getting up to level 5. What is going to go down? Tauren Chieftain falls at level 5. Archmage could be in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal may be needed. Down to 77. There's a Scroll of Town Portal there. Mountain King getting in a couple of quick kills, trying to finish off more units, and it does get taken out. Archmage hanging in the back here, going to go ahead and Mass Teleport off to the side. There's fly machines around there. Where did the human army go? Back down here once more, and once again he is trapped. Archmage and Mountain King are once again trapped. Sock needs to break out of his self-made prison as he is getting healed up again. Sock holding on this game ever so barely, yeah, as Sock's the addition and the utility of a Mass Teleport greatly changing the outcome of this fight. FoCuS seemed to be in the driver's seat of this game for so long, and then suddenly, well, everything was different. Should the Farseer perhaps have gone for Earthquake, forcing the Mountain King to constantly try and Stormbolt that Farseer and, well, keep it at bay, as Earthquake could easily take down buildings if necessary. Dual level 6 heroes. Only one has... Oh, there's that Chain Lightning, not able to bounce across any additional targets. So, well, that's the downside if you're not paying attention to the position of all of your opponent's units. Yes, the Spellbreakers are there, but they're not going to be doing much either. Spellbreaker, well, trying to free one of their brethren, able to get out of that Kodo of the Beast. Pretty sure he smells horrible right now as that Spellbreaker tries to run all the way back home. Shadow Wolf, however, going to make short work of that Spellbreaker right there, down to 4 hit points, going to be down to dead in just a second as we're looking at a big Thunderclap finishing off more units again. There's a Chain Lightning. Tauren Chieftain now gets up to level 6, and with Reincarnation on the table after the Archmage falls, it looks like FoCuS is once more in the driver's seat. Sitting at 37 supply compared to 48, units are going to try and retreat back again. These grunts cannot be, well, too gung-ho. If they try and join in on the fight, they may accidentally just give level 6 to that Mountain King, as the Mountain King is fairly close as well. This gold mine has run out. We are looking at only long distance mining possible, as the Archmage is resurrected at the tavern and now needs to get back in this fight. All right, this is a last-ditch effort by Sock, but is there enough here? Tauren Chieftain can pretty much just run around, get auto attacks and hits. Farseer now in trouble. Are we going to see a forced Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? Mountain King needs to get away. Mountain King getting attacked. There's the Shockwave finishing off the Mountain King. Potion of Invulnerability used, and now that Farseer is still alive for now. All right, still difficult to tell who's going to win out here. Some low hit point grunts. Archmage may try and finish off more units. There's some more Blizzard raining down. Level 7 on the Archmage. Tauren Chieftain is still pretty much ignored because he's just going to get back up again over and over again. Archmage needs to be very careful, as we may see some Chain Lightning auto attack damage going on. 42 supply compared to 40. Home field advantage, not very much for Sock, as he doesn't have any towers and any ability to buy any items. No reinforcements in the training of units either, but the Spellbreakers are acting as a very strong deterrent here, but no chance for control magic either. More Blizzard still raining down. Farseer now getting up to level 7, does now have access to Earthquake, as the Archmage holding back. 28 supply compared to 34. Sock has the larger army, and we're going to see a surround on the Tauren Chieftain. The Tauren Chieftain is currently down, but as he gets back up, he is already surrounded by those units. There's a Shockwave trying to finish off the Archmage. Archmage now to 300 hit points, as we're looking at damage just racking up right there. Priest is trying to get in the heals. Are we going to see that Tauren Chieftain fall? Tauren Chieftain down to 121 hit points. Archmage uses a Scroll of Town Portal in time. Tauren Chieftain uses a Scroll of Town Portal in time. And the Farseer, is he going to be able to get a hit on that Archmage? No, he is not. And with that, Sock gives up the game, knowing that FoCuS still has this Expo in the back right here. I have to call that game a hero race, trying to figure out who can get the last hit. Tauren Chieftain, so much went into trying to kill him through that reincarnation, right? And it ends up not working. Farseer was at 87 hit points, and I can't believe this. Between the two Orc heroes, less than 115 hit points. Archmage, less than, well, at 20 hit points as well. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.